Hey guys, so this is the video I promised you, me talking about all of my foundations that I have at the moment and just giving you kind of an overview of each one. I have quite a bit, even though I just had a blog sale and sold a whole bunch. So let's just get started. They're in no particular order, so I'm just gonna grab I'm just gonna grab them. So first we'll start with and I have notes, drugstore foundation. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations. It's called the Revlon Color Stay. I am in the color Caramel. This is a full coverage foundation. However, it's not the foundation that has the most full coverage that I own. It is one of the most affordable foundations that I own. It is really hard to wash off, so it stays on really well. You have to really get it off, which could be a problem if you're prone to breakouts. It is cheap, and especially when you find it on sale, buy one get one 50% off or buy one get one free, and with some coupons that makes it even more affordable. And the one thing that I don't like about it is that it does not have a foundation pump. It doesn't bother me a whole lot, but it's just one thing to note about this foundation. Two foundations that I'll include together are face and body foundations. I'm going to shake them so they don't look all weird for you. I have two. I have the one by MAC, which separates a whole lot worse than the one by Makeup Forever. The one for Makeup Forever, I'm thinking I'm a shade number 12. I hate when they do this because it makes it hard for me to tell you what color I am. I wonder if I could show you the bottom just in case you could figure it out. That's the bottom. And then this is a MAC one, and in MAC I'm C9. And you see it, MAC separates, so I hardly ever use it. They're both really liquidy. I think the Makeup Forever is a little bit more gel-like than the face and body. These foundations are very light coverage, however you can build them to probably about medium coverage. So if you need a full coverage or medium coverage right off the bat, or have some dark blemishes, they're not going to conceal them a whole lot. They leave you with a dewy finish, and when I first put them on, I liked them a whole lot, but because I have oily skin, that pretty dewy look quickly turns to an oily greasy look. No matter which one, they give me the same effect. I don't know how much they cost. The MAC you get twice as much, but the MAC is more liquidy. I'm not a fan of these, and that just because they don't give the kind of coverage that I want. They don't give the kind of coverage that I want, and because of the dewy finish, over time they start to look oily. And so next I'm just going to grab the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Foundation, and I'm thinking that I'm a number 75, but I'll try and show you the bottom if you can see it. Yeah, I think it's 75. I like this foundation. This is the last one that I had to, kind of go through and try. I have this one on today. No concealer. It is kind of an almost full coverage foundation. It gives you a nice matte finish, but you can still see a little bit of sheen to your skin. It doesn't completely cover everything like you can see. I mean, it's a good foundation. I like this one. So this is on the like list. Then I have the Stila Perfect and Correct foundation in the color Deep, and I think this is their darkest color. Now, this foundation is supposed to eliminate certain steps in your foundation routine. It's supposed to be, I think, a moisturizer and a primer and a foundation all in one. I don't really like the foundation. Even though this is the darkest, I think at sometimes it may be a little bit too light. Like I said, they don't have a very good color range. It's lightweight. It probably gives about a medium coverage. It's not a horrible foundation, but it's just not one that I reach for, and it's not one of my favorites. In fact, this is the one that I reach for the least. So the next foundation that we will go with is the Giorgio Armani, and this is the Luminous Silk foundation, and I have number 10, and I probably should have got number 9.5 because this, when you put it on my skin, it is a tad bit too red. It works, but it is red. So usually I'm like NC50, which you'll see, or NW45, just a tad bit red. It's not as thick as Studio Fix, but it's not as watery as the Face and Body foundations that I just showed you. Starting off, you get a medium coverage. You can try to build it a little bit, but for the most part, you're going to end up with the medium coverage. Thing I noticed about the higher end foundations, and I'll keep reiterating this as I show you, is that they have a very, very nice texture. Even though you're getting a medium coverage, it's very, very thin. It feels almost like you're not putting anything on your skin. So I could see why some people venture into the more higher end products. You can mimic the finish with things that cost less. However, I've noticed that when you get something with a good texture, it doesn't feel like you're wearing foundation, which is important to a lot of people. This one leaves you with a more dewy finish. It does not have the dewy finish, like sweaty kind of look after a few hours, but it's not a holy grail like people make it seem. I think that because I have really, really oily skin and it does leave the semi-dewy finish, it does tend to look oily. It takes a longer time than the Face and Body for it to look oily, but it does tend to go that route. And so unfortunately, even though most people rave about it because it has great texture, and if you don't need a lot of coverage, it's a really good foundation, I don't like it. I think it'd be a good foundation for possibly dry skin. The next foundation I'm going to talk about is the Match Master foundation by MAC, and it's color 7.5. Oh, I didn't show you. The Armani has a pump. The Matte Velvet has a like applicator tube. And then the Stila, sorry, has a pump. So anyway, the MAC Match Master foundation, you get a little bit more. You get 35 ml instead of 30, and it comes with a pump. And I think the reason why you get a little bit more, first of all, is because you have to use a little bit more. It's a little bit thinner of a consistency than some of the other MAC foundations. So for some people that need a fuller coverage, that might lead to using more. So I think that's why they gave us more. It is a very good color match. It's one of the best foundations that I've put on my face, and it just immediately blends into my skin. But I usually have to use 1.5 to 2 pumps, and I'm not a heavy foundation type of person. Usually I can get away with a pump or half a pump because I usually don't mind my imperfections showing through. On me, it's pretty full coverage because I don't have a lot of bad skin issues. I do have mostly the dark circles under my eyes, and then I had a breakout that had some dark marks, but they're fading. So Match Master is full coverage. I don't like the texture. When I first put it on, I love it, but the video with the Guerlain Noir mascara, I had that on, and I think it looks too fake. It almost settles into like a powdery type of consistency, and I don't like it. I hate that. If you have dry skin, I think that because it ends up in a powdery type of finish, it'll end up looking masky, and I think that it would accentuate flaws in your skin because of that. So even though most people like it, it's not horrible. I just don't love it. I don't like the powdery finish. The next foundation that I'm going to show you is the Makeup Forever High Definition, and it comes with a pump. Mine is the color 175. This foundation I like a lot. It's not my holy grail foundation out of the ones that I have, but it is a good foundation. I'm trying to see if I had any notes. This one to me, because it doesn't have SPF, it looks very, very pretty on the skin. It matches my skin tone. It blends great. The texture is between the drugstore foundation and then the Luminous Silk, where you almost feel like you're not wearing nothing. This is somewhere in the middle. It really, really is very lightweight on the skin. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I talked about the Perfection Lumiere by Chanel, which I bought the color 114, and I probably could have bought the one color under. I don't remember if it was 104 or 94, but this is 114, so I don't confuse you. And to me, these are both medium coverage foundations. Very, very similar. Both give you like a semi-matte appearance. This one is, I think, maybe $10 to $20 more than the Makeup Forever. I don't really see a difference when I wear either one of these. They both wear the same on my skin. They both look the same on my skin, and they match my skin. So I don't know. They're good foundations. They're not my favorite. I would probably, out of 5 stars, give them a 4. And then I also have the Matte Lumiere by Chanel, and I think they're discontinuing this. But anyway, I have the color Chestnut. And did I write any notes about that one? No. But Matte Lumiere is the most similar to the Revlon Color Stay. However, it has a way better texture. It's lighter, so it doesn't feel like you're wearing a lot of makeup. I would call this almost full coverage, so medium to full coverage. It's long lasting. It's not a totally matte finish. It's more like a semi-matte finish. But all of these by themselves don't control my oily, so check my oilies video for that. I don't want you to think that the ones that say semi-matte or combination oily skin control my oil. None of them do alone. I have to use a primer. It comes with a pump. I don't like that the pumps on my Chanel foundations, they get clogged really, really easily. So Chanel Matte Lumiere is a good foundation. Let's see, I think there's only 3 more. The next one I'll show you is a drugstore foundation. Is Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse, and I got the color Cocoa, and I'm pretty sure it's a little bit too red for me, and I probably would have been better off if I had got the, I think the one color down, Caramel. And so I like this foundation when I first put it on. It's matte, it blends smoothly. It can be full coverage for me. It is affordable. The only thing that I don't like is, like, say maybe like 4 or 5 hours into the day when I'm wearing just this foundation alone, it starts to look greasy, and it starts to look like it's kind of sliding off my face, and kind of just gross and yucky, like uneven. So I thought that I really, really like this foundation, and because it looks gorgeous when you first put it on, gorgeous, but after 4 or 5 hours it doesn't look as good anymore, and I could not recommend that. If you're on a budget, I would rather you go with the Revlon Color Stay than the Dream Matte Mousse. Next one is Studio Fix Fluid. I've already talked about this in my favorites video, and I have the color in this one, NW45, which I said was a tad bit too red. And let's see, it's my most favorite foundation. It's full coverage on me. It is a bit heavy, so you have to really be careful. If you don't need a lot of coverage, that can start to look cakey really, really fast. So you have to be really careful in your application, but it has been my most favorite foundation. Make sure you wash it off really, really good. I think they have a wide color range. The price is so I think it is $30, so it's so that could be a bit expensive. People say it's similar to Color Stay, and if you're on a budget, they're similar enough, but the Studio Fix gives way better coverage. I don't usually need to use concealer if I don't want to, if I just use the Studio Fix Fluid. So this one is Dior Skin, And this one is in the color 51, and it also comes in a pump. It's Dior Skin Nude, color 51. This is a very, very good foundation. So I like it because it's lightweight, and it does the dewy finish, but it does it the right way. It feels like it's your skin. You feel like you didn't put anything on. It's not like the face and body where you look at your face a few hours later and it looks like you just are a freaking oil slick. For some reason, this one does it right. The problem with that is if you do need coverage, full coverage anywhere on your face, or you know, fuller coverage if you have blemishes, this foundation is not the one that you should pick because it's so lightweight. It's not a full coverage foundation, and it also, if you have to use a concealer that's heavier than the foundation, you can kind of discern the difference in textures even if you're blending, because it's so light. I mean, it's phenomenal. It just gets my skin but better, right? So if you have really, really good skin, or don't mind light coverage, or don't use a lot of concealer, this is a great foundation. It feels like it's your skin, so you know, it's one of those where you touch your face and you're like, oops, I forgot I had on makeup. The Smelly Cat hooked me up with this. It was on sale on Amazon. It's normally like $50 some. It was $24 or $26. So please go to Amazon, do a search. They still had colors available, and I just got it last week. So just go check out Amazon and search and see if you can find it. And it was under Amazon Prime, so you can get it shipped for free. And anyway, that was the foundation video. I hope that it was helpful. I'm just gonna go through my notes real quick and see if I forgot anything. None of these foundations have caused me breakouts, but I just make sure to wash them off really, really well. Yep, I told you everything. So if you have questions about a specific foundation, let me know. I've tried so many. I've tried NARS NARS Sheer Matte. I've tried a whole bunch. So if you have questions about ones that I haven't mentioned, I may be able to help you, maybe not. But just ask if you want, and I'll try to help you. If you have any specific questions about any of these, want any more info, just leave a comment in the comment box below, and I will help you out best that I can. And I'll talk to you later.